Actress Demi Moore has now announced that she wants to normalize farting. And although some people have praised the Hollywood actress's constant pursuit to normalize weird things, others have said this is just another instance of a white woman trying to take credit for something Eddie Murphy and the black community have done for years in their numerous fatsuit franchises.
Eddie Murphy commented saying, "As a Hollywood guy myself, I get that she's running out of things to normalize. But as a black OG fart normalizer, Demi Moore needs to sit down and listen to the dinner table scene where the clumps are putting on a f***ing symphony back when she was walking around in a buzz cut. We started this fart normalizing shit, and if you want to get involved, you got to pay homage to the goats."
Martin Lawrence also chimed in to say, "I'm sure Demi lets a few stinkers rip here and there, but has anyone even seen her ask them to pull her finger, gas chamber to spouse, crop dusted a set, or ripped ass for hours straight while dressed as Big Mama? I doubt it." And this isn't even a race thing for me, because Mike Myers normalized farting in a way that was respectful to the craft and not just talking to the press for clicks.
Finally, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan chimed in to say, "All I see is another white Hollywood actress swooping in to borrow from black fart normalizing culture. The woman is a flatulence colonizer using our culture as a costume." At which point, he loudly proclaimed safety before clearing the room with a legendary cheese cut.
The boys.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The lads.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The dudes.
Prepare yourself for BOYSCAST.
The bros.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The homies.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The dudes.
Experience the BOYSCAST.
The boys. Cast.
The Boys Cast. We are live. We are up and running. The boys in the studio. My special is live. Problem solved. YouTube.com/Ryan Long Comedy if you haven't checked it out. Also, if anyone wants to post a clip, I have a Dropbox and a Google Drive link. And also, anyone that's a podcast listener, anyone who does 1 million views, if you post any of the clips, I'll give you $100. All you have to do is, you just send email with the post of the clip and then the edit page.
Verification. This is the only podcast that pays, baby.
Baby! It's actually pretty easy because you just click edit on your page and then you screenshot, and you can only do that if you own the page. So,
also, I have my own Dropbox of AI,
million views, $100
of AI Ryan videos, and if you do 1 million views, I'll give you $110. $109.
Now we're talking. Also, it was fucking killing me. Farrakhan saying safety.
Safety.
The Farrakhan voice is never not funny to do. Also,
the Jews are termites.
What did he say? They're not. What did he say? He said that
termites.
He goes on about an anti-Semite. I'm an anti-termite.
I'm an anti-termite.
But I know we already talked about it, obviously, but the Demi Moore farting thing, there's pretty good parts of the article, but also I was just making me laugh, being like, if you were, because she Ashton Kutcher, I believe it was Bruce Willis, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being like,
isn't she married to Bruce Willis right now, or no?
No, that was even before Ashton, I think. Maybe not Bruce Willis. It's the other guy that looks like Bruce Willis. Okay, former husbands. It's what's his name? It's not Bruce Willis. You're gonna
Mel Gibson?
Moore ex-husband. It is Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that was Bruce Willis. I thought that was.
Well, I was right still. A guy that looks like Bruce Willis.
Yeah, because she's helping him because he's got like dementia and stuff now. And
well, it was making me laugh though, the idea of like dating a girl and then years later you haven't seen her in a while, and then she's like, "What's that girl been up to?" You go check on the thing, her whole thing's like, "I'm the fart queen." Just like you go, "Well, probably me." You definitely aren't looking at that being like, "Did I fuck up? Was that the one that got away?" You look at her page. You go, "Yeah, no, I probably made the right decision there."
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just a coping mechanism because likely Bruce Willis is probably starting to soil himself a bit.
Oh, and you think that
the dementia, you know? So.
They dated 20 years ago.
They have like 5 kids.
Well, I'm sure she's around. He's baby mama, but yeah, Bruce Willis has been in rough shape. Eh?
No, he's really, dude. Remember the last
Sucks
time when they go? There was that one movie because they needed him to like make money, and he could still make money, and like he had an earpiece for his lines.
Oh no!
Yeah, he had like an earpiece for his lines for his like last movie, and they're like, this is literally like abuse.
It does kind of feel a little like
it. It was like, did you see Jimmy Carter? When they had Jimmy Carter,
the old guy, yeah.
Dude, Jimmy Carter, literally 100 years old. They had him a birthday party a week before his 100th birthday because they're like he literally looks like a corpse, and they're like wheeling him out, being like, this guy's his last dying wish is to make it to vote for Kamala. And he's dude, it's like honestly crazy. Like it's like when you see one of those videos where you're like with some like fucking prostitute and she's like remember the one where she's like taking the dead guy to the ATM? Or whatever. Yeah. That's what it looked like. He's just like, this guy was the president. He's not like some guy.
It is it's, on the topic of taking the dead guy to the ATM. There's that one girl that she was like ran through like 40 fucking 100-year-olds. She had Pacino. She had some other guy, Mick Jagger, and now she's got Bill Maher. She spotted. It's funny being the 70-year-old guy where the last 30-year-old girl, her last 3 boyfriends were fucking 80-year-old multimillionaires. Just, she likes me for me.
She's got a type.
She is. The truth is, right now, she might be fucking loaded too. So she's
getting $30K a month from Pacino.
So this actually might be her type now.
I mean, this is just a business move.
Oh, obviously, she's doing okay. Yeah. But it also might be a business move for Bill Maher because he might not pay it out that much. I don't think he's been married, you know?
No. Bill Maher's smart enough to know, like, he knows what the deal is. He's probably like, you know, I'm
paying for everything, but that's the extent. He might be buying her a thing here and there, but I don't know if...
He's got to be snipped.
Oh, that's another thing. He must be snipped.
He must have a fucking vasectomy.
Well, I'll tell you, there's some big news here, and it's a prediction that I made. But rapper Lil Scrappy announced.
Lil Scrappy.
I told you there's gonna be a lot of weird Diddy articles. Rapper Lil Scrappy alleges that drinks at Diddy's freak off parties may be spiked with baby oil containing memory erasing substances. So.
Wait, he's putting the memory erasing substances in the baby oil?
He says the lube it's memory erasing lube.
And then he's spiking the drinks with the baby oil?
You're missing the point is that everyone's been saying, what does this Little Scrappy think about this?
What's Little Scrappy's take?
Cat Williams liked my Abe Lincoln video.
There you go. Yeah, I saw those. Cat.
But yeah. So I told you there's going to be a string of articles. They're just like little fucking bozos, this and this.
Yeah, they go, he made me drink the oil.
Yeah, anyways,
Is that better or worse that he's making them drink the oil? Because baby oil is not
No, I think you rub it on you rubs it on their temples.
Oh, is this like Barry Bonds with the Clear or whatever, where he was like the steroids that all the baseball players were taking, and it was called the Clear, and they just like, it was a topical ointment. It was like a topical roofie where you like literally shake P. Diddy's hand, and you're like, what's on my hand?
I think that's what they're saying. They're saying you get into the room, you're slipping, sliding around on the lube, and then when you leave the room, it's Men in Black to you.
What happened? Last thing I remember,
that's what Little say. This is Little Scrappy's words, not mine.
My last memory is just dabbing up fucking P. Diddy, and it was all wet, and then I don't remember anything.
The Men in Black loop. I saw the movie Joker, and I'm going to talk about it for a second here. You know, I like to do my reviews when I go to see a movie.
Should've fucking called it Turkey too.
You know what the thing is? You know, and there's a lot of people that watch these movies and have these big YouTube channels doing reviews, and obviously there's a whole, boutique industry on TikTok and everything. I don't see myself as these highbrow reviewers. I'm the everyman. I like a jail movie too. It's probably my favorite thing. If you give me action movie in a jail, I can't think of a scenario where you can screw it up for me. It's very, very difficult.
Sure. Yeah, the moment you just put them in a jail, you
put them in a jail, you have all the pieces. You have a couple fights, you have some dirty guards.
How many Diddies out of 10 do you give the gang rape scene? Is it 10 Diddies out of 10?
They didn't really show it. They implied it. Yeah, there was an implication. Well, a lot of people were saying that with the Joker that because the first one was such an incel classic that they were, it was kind of there's this incel, everyone's bullying him, and then he gets his revenge. And they were saying that this, all the articles weren't happy with Todd Phillips for doing that.
No.
And the conspiracy is that he had to atone for that by making a new Joker movie where he's kind of a bitch and he just gets yelled at by Lady Gaga the whole time. So he just gets sort of bullied around by Lady Gaga, and then at the end of it, he breaks out of the jail, and then she leaves him. And I don't care about spoiling it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know what was going on here. It's a musical.
I would have for sure seen this movie. I was saying until like just every person was like, "This sucks."
Dude, I was looking up what Todd Phillips made. The guy made everything.
He made every banger.
What did he make? Like Wedding Crashers?
Dude, like honestly, he might be on the Diddy list. It's the only explanation for Joker 2.
Tim Dillon was in it. He was posting all the bad reviews, which is kind of funny. It was cool that he was in it. But it's one of these things where it's, whenever every fucking article and Rotten Tomatoes, everything is like, this movie's bad, you're like, it's probably sick.
It is funny.
When they hate something so much, they're usually wrong. But it was just like, okay, the number one way for me to like a movie is for me to jail movie. Number one reason for me to not like a movie is make it a musical.
Yeah, in jail.
Music. I don't know if this is Lady Gaga. They're like, hey, we're going to get Lady Gaga to be the star of the movie that's kind of about the incel. It's like, well, this incel business is done.
Yeah, it's crazy, too, because the first one was so good.
This guy made The Hangover, Road Trip, War Dogs, Old School.
Man.
And he's kind of a comedy guy too, right? That's
He is
why he
a
always
comedy
puts
guy,
comedians
yeah.
in his thing. Like, I think he was kind of around the New York comedy scene.
Yeah.
Due date. He's just made everything, right?
I mean, he was making comedy movies when like comedy movies were actually a thing.
Yeah, and then he kind of made, he made his way up the chain to being the big action movie director. That's the coup de grace, right? That's what you want to get to if you're, you get to do a Marvel movie. That's
Yeah,
like the
of
big
course.
move for the director. And the first one, I think he was getting some blowback for. The conspiracy is he was like, listen, we're gonna make a music. Someone said they're trying to make a musical for straight guys. That was kind of the thing, but I don't think straight guys are gonna, I
Like
don't.
musicals
Yeah, I didn't.
with a gang rape scene in it.
The gay, I guess it was just a Joker. Honestly, I guess if you were to say there was a moral, it's that it doesn't pay to be an incel.
Sure. It doesn't pay.
It doesn't pay, and then you kind of realize at the end. But there was no realization, and then he gets killed at the end, and then there's a new guy, and they're setting it up for a sequel.
They want a sequel to this dog shit?
They like setting him up for the. They always set him up for a sequel.
What?
But the musical component, I'm like, this is like if Lady Gaga had a movie, I didn't realize Lady Gaga was in it, or that might have been a turn.
Oh, that's what they've been talking about forever.
Well, I'm not on the same sites as you.
Oh, that's
not
the funny.
Lady
That's the
Gaga
funny
fan
thing is
sites.
because all the like people who are, I guess, pro this shit are like, could Lady Gaga's performance earn her an Oscar?
Yes, I know,
That
but
was the other side of this story, I suppose.
well, sure. But when I watched this thing, I was like, if you told me like, hey, do you want to go watch a musical with Lady Gaga in it? Like if I was thinking that walking in, I'm thinking Todd Phillips' new Joker movie.
Right.
If I was thinking Lady Gaga made a musical, which is what this was, I would have been like, you can't pay me enough.
Any good numbers?
To be honest, the numbers were all like kind of ironic a little bit, where he was like singing bad on purpose sort of thing.
Yeah, like there's no it's like there's not going to be anybody driving around just listening to the soundtrack.
I think there was just covers or something.
Oh.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I left being like, I don't have much to say. It's like everyone kind of nailed it. That was not good.
Yeah, that was a stinker. I mean, sequels are notoriously hard to do.
Listen, as far as jail movies go, I think Big Stan has this beat. People don't know the plot line of Big Stan. This is a Schneider classic, but he's going to jail, and then he only has like 30 days before he goes to jail, so he has to learn karate so he can go kick everyone's ass in jail.
Yes, that's 30 days.
And he has 30 days to learn karate. He learns karate, right?
Yes, the most lethal of
Maybe it's
martial
not karate.
arts.
It's one of the martial arts.
karate.
So he learns karate, then he gets to jail, and then there's one scene where he's in the yard, and basically the gang's coming up to him, and he one by one just pummels, just flattens 100 gang members one by one. It's like cartoonish where he's swinging the guy above his head, basically.
That was when they still, that was.
Big Stan's something else.
I haven't seen it, but honestly, I'd be more inclined to watch that right now than the Joker 2.
Big Stan probably has Joker 2.
Because the problem with Joker 2 is if you watch it, it also kind of like oftentimes with sequels is it sullies the original one. Right? Like it takes a kind of, you go,
Original was all right. It wasn't the best movie in the world.
Original was,
good.
I don't know. Original was pretty fucking good.
Well, I was watching this beside a black guy, and I'm telling you, this guy was not a happy camper.
Oh,
no! I swear, this guy kept looking around, being like, he's slunking in his chair, being like, what? He had a do-rag on. This guy goes, what the fuck?
He might have well been in a gay porn theater.
Well, yeah, because he was like, what the fuck is this shit? I thought I was seeing like a superhero movie.
Well, these are the type of incels that need to be defeated by Todd Phillips. Is black dudes in fucking do-rags.
Yeah, I guess I would give Todd Phillips the benefit of the doubt because I think he's probably a cool guy, and I doubt that he's like, they slapped him with like, you're going to atone by making this pussy movie. I think it's more likely that he thought he was being ahead of his time.
Yeah. He goes, I'm going to do something so crazy.
I think that he probably was like, this is my coup de grace. I'm going to be ahead of the time. But
yeah, because I mean, I imagine they probably are like, hey, banger of a movie. Let's get another one. Write the script, and then that probably is just like the script he wrote. But has he ever done any musicals? That's so weird. It's not like it was what's her face, the chick from Barbie, and you're like, yeah, the musicals are my thing. Like, it's not like musicals are his fucking jam.
This was something else. I left that being like, the fuck, man? You got me.
Nothing's safe anymore.
Yeah, it was more like I just felt like I got.
I don't think I've been inside a movie theater in like literally years.
Really? It's the only thing I do. Yeah, you like traveling around.
No,
you
I like
seeing sights. You like
I
looking
like
at
movies.
art. Ugh.
No, I like movies, but honestly, there hasn't like
You don't know. You're a fake fucking
No, the wife.
movie
The
liker.
wife doesn't like movie theaters for some reason, and then also
fuck?
I know it's bizarre, and then but there haven't been any really like this was the one where I go, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
I'm back in a movie theater.
It's the only thing I do.
Yeah, and then
I'd say once every month at least.
stinker.
On tour, I'll do it by myself too. I go solo dolo, my friend.
I remember I saw what was it? What was the Mr. Bean movie where he was the this was like 20 years ago, but when he was like the fucking spy. Remember that?
I saw the spy movie, Bean movie.
The Bean spy movie. Saw that by myself. Solid.
Solid.
Literally, Rowan Atkinson can't miss.
That's a hilarious movie to be seen by yourself.
The guy
Bean
just
spy movie.
absolutely cannot miss. That guy could. If you fucking made Rowan Atkinson do Joker 2,
That would be a funny
no
choice.
complaints over here. 100% tomato score. 100%.
I mean, if he played,
score.
I tell you what he should have played is Lady Gaga.
Oh.
So we're gonna give those 0 P Diddy's. And I honestly, it actually wanted it to be good too. And I honestly,
Why wouldn't you? Yeah.
The fact that all these reviewers are talking about how bad it is, I wish they were wrong. I want to be like, shut up, reviewers.
I know, right? Because you're normally like, it's one of those things where it's like the critic score is low and then the audience score is
Yeah.
high, and you go, no, the critics and audience are in concert.
I know I have to be like Huffington
Piece of
Post nailed
shit.
it.
I know. Everybody, piece of shit.
The worst people you all know just have fucking perfect review.
I wonder if this hurts Todd Phillips in any way.
I don't know.
Because like Hollywood notoriously is like you kind of get 2 bombs.
It used to be like that. Now it seems like you know, if you play ball, you seem like you bureaucratically fail into
it's
a
still
longer
though.
career.
This is gonna be probably like you got to
He
think.
might be back to comedy. They might kick him back down to comedy.
But there is no comedy. That's the thing. There is nothing to get kicked back down to.
Maybe he
'cause
goes and
comedy
makes an
doesn't
HBO
exist.
comedy show.
Maybe that is such a drop off. You went from Joker to fucking HBO series. I think you just retire at that point. I don't even know what the move is. But like they're going to lose like $500 million.
I really wasn't happy, Camper. No. Honestly, it pains me to give this bad review. I didn't want to do it.
I mean, you and everybody. I don't think anybody's pumped about this other than the fucking anti-incel lobby.
Well, there's a lot of pretty funny politics news this week, actually, of a string of real bangers. Naked Donald Trump statue shows him in a swing state. So, actually, you know what? That was actually why I wanted to mention the article.
Not a New York Post.
The USA Today article on Demi Moore said Demi Moore wants to normalize fartings. What's the big stink about? I meant to mention that.
Someone came over from the New York Post. They got hired from the New York Post. They go, hey, I'm telling you.
I have a style.
Let me write this headline. I'm telling you. Just let me write this. I know that I'm at the New York Post and you guys, think that this is a lowly rag.
Trust me.
Just trust me.
So, naked Donald Trump statue. They got a 43-foot tall statue of Donald Trump. Appeared outside Las Vegas this weekend, drawing the ire of the Nevada Republican Party. The organization called the marionette-like foam effigy deplorable. So some people, but the thing that makes me laugh is it's probably okay when you get into, I'm going to start caring about politics. I'm going to start posting my opinions online. I'm going to start arguing with my family members, whatever it may be, whether you're Democrat, Republican. When you find yourself sitting in your basement, sculpting Trump's dick out of
paper mache.
Listen, if you want to make a paper mache Trump statue, go be my guest. But when you find yourself sculpting a dick, I think that's when you go, I might be into.
Yeah, I might be terminally too into politics. Also, you're probably like, there's how many versions of the piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you make the piece and you go, oh, that's kind of too big.
Wasn't too. It's just
because it's like
right.
you really have to make a statement with the piece. Like it can't be like too small because then you're like, oh, you're biased.
Yes.
Like obviously you're biased, but you're like, if it's too small, then you're like, oh, come on.
All right, Patriots, get your sculpting clay. It's time to make the piece. You're not a true patriot until you're down there sculpting the dick.
Sculpting a fucking paper
Depicting
mache.
Trump in the nude is intentional. It's a bold statement on transparency, vulnerability, and the public persona of political figures. So
Okay, cool. Do one of Kamala Harris.
well, that's the only way for them to.
Huge bush.
Well, they're saying she's not transparent like Trump. That's why they're. I tell you, you can't be down there sculpting president's dicks. There's got to be a point in your mind where you say, am I in too deep right now?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to keep my head up above.
I mean, they already did this.
Under.
Remember on the first time he got elected, and they had the giant Trump nudes somewhere. I think it was in like Washington or New York. There was like a giant nude.
I think that was the people that hated him, wasn't it?
Oh, this is the people that like him.
I thought they were saying he's vulnerable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is people that like him making a statue. That's what I'm saying.
Seems very off brand for the MAGAs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're a patriot fucking sculpting a dick. But yes, if they were going to make one the other way, if they're going to do a Kamala one, yes, that would be hilarious if they were like, well, we'll fucking make one. And then the Democrats are sculpting just fucking big, huge tits on Kamala.
Big old milkers on her.
It's a big ass fucking box, just meaty. Nothing in the imagination.
No. All right. Well, that is patriotic shit right there.
Here, so Daniel Polishuk, who is part of the resistance with Jake Tapper, did the video because Harris did on Call Her Daddy, and it was so funny because Danny, you did that video. Legitimately, I was thinking about intros and I was thinking of stuff for the podcast. That was the first thing that I thought. I was like, I was like making me laugh. The idea of obviously, you know, Kamala Harris just being on Call Her Daddy. I'm sure other people said it too, but being on Kamala Harris talking about, you know, giving head and all this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, it's probably too graphic for the intro and blah blah. And then like as I was thinking this, I saw you post it, and I was like, it's literally probably. Your AI videos are probably my favorite thing on the internet right now. Not even just because like we're friends,
but
legitimately, it was like all the things I would have just her saying she was the throat goat, all of it.
The worst part too is I like when I found out it was coming out, I was like, fuck, I gotta get a video out, and so like I was like green screening and all this stuff, and like having because like obviously none of the video existed, but the easiest way to make them is if you have the source video. So then I like had all the audio files, I had it almost done, and then they released it, and like so in my version, she's like obviously looks different, and I'm like, fuck. And so
you said to do it again.
Just do it
back
again.
to the drawing board.
Sucked.
I said you got to put her on Plug Talk now because
Plug Talk. That
to me that
I could do that because that'll never come out. Hawk 2. I was maybe put her on the fucking AJ and the fucking Costco guys podcast.
Yeah, put her on something super random.
Super random. He goes, how many booms do you give the economy? 5 booms, AJ.
Yeah, exactly. But so her going and Call Her Daddy, and you said after that happened, apparently the fucking markets went haywire.
The betting markets. Yes, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago at like 6 a.m. or whatever. They like. Trump just spiked. I honestly, not to be a conspiracy theory guy, even though I am a bit, but I think someone is trying to like influence rig him. Yeah, because I have this one group chat with all these like not ours, but we were talking about in ours, but like there is some weird arbitrage opportunity because it was such a spread between the betting markets. Like he's up 6% right now. Although the one thing I can maybe speculate is she did like 6 interviews. Like she's coming out with like she's doing Stern today or tomorrow. She did Call Her Daddy. She did 60 Minutes. And they're all disasters.
And people are banking on the disaster of the interviews not going well.
Like the 60 Minutes one is like a disaster.
What are some highlights of the disasters?
She's just kind of like, he grilled her. Like the dude, I can't remember the guy's name, but on 60 Minutes, but he really like grilled her about like, you know, do you think it was democratic to just kind of fucking kick Joe Biden to the side and just take over? And she's like, well, you know, history will look fondly upon him for putting the country first over himself and all this stuff. And like, I don't know, she just like, she's not a good interviewer. Like she's not Obama, you know, like Obama could fucking run circles around anybody, right?
Classic
like,
politician.
Oh, dude, you have no chance with Obama.
You think she'd be okay at bullshit being a lawyer though, right?
You would
and
think
like a court
so.
lawyer. Like that's a lot of fucking baloney. And
yeah, you'd think so.
By the way, that was a scene in The Joker where he was in court and then he sits down and he was like, there is no Joker. Honestly, it's just me. That's just little old me. And then basically that's what happens. And he gives up and then the girl leaves him. And then they break him out of prison. Then he goes to the girl and the girl.
Any whoopee cushions?
You would think.
Zero. Like, see, I thought you were going to say he was going to sit down and then they're just like.
No, he
goes, oh, what's this?
He's done with his jokes.
Oh, they just broke him. The system. This is about the system breaking a man into just like doing musicals.
This is kind of what happened, yeah.
God damn it.
Anyways, back to Kamala. You were saying?
Yeah. Anyways, but there was this huge spike. I was thinking maybe like someone's manipulating the betting markets. You know, you throw 100 million in there on Trump, and you could probably make it like dislocate if you're willing to just blow 100 million, and then you'd be like, look, the betting markets are saying Trump's going to win, so Trump's
seems like
win.
a lot of money to make that point.
I mean, if you're fucking Elon Musk, Elon Musk is now giving interviews where literally like, I'm fucked if Kamala.
Yeah, I saw him say that.
He's
That's
basically like,
funny.
if Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
loses, like I'm going to, or
he's kind of kidding, but yeah,
sure,
it's a little bit true.
Yeah, but he'll definitely be like public enemy number 1 for her, and he's basically like, you know, and he has 100 million to burn. He could, like, dude, that's nothing. Like you could go fucking throw 100 million in the betting market.
Would it really help that much?
Well, I guess the idea is you throw 100 million on Trump, and then people see it, and then they go, huh, look, it's like maybe it's for all these undecided barbershop guys.
You know what I had a theory about? I was looking at like just a lot of like internet commentators, and I always think of it in terms of, there's that old saying where they say that, a small percentage of people do the thinking and then a lot of people do the regurgitating or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a time right now where there's times in culture where it's important to, it's hard for people to say things or, be bold. And then there's times where everything's been said, it's who can yell it the loudest. Sure. So I kind of had a theory where I was saying that a lot of the internet right now, and it's not just music, it's probably fashion and it's a little bit America, but, it's people following from the front. So if you think of like a mob moving around, a lot of times, on the left, if you were whatever the new cause is, they're all like, I'm this, right? And these are sort of organisms that have a life of their own, being, kind of moving. Obviously, the media's trying to move them, and commentators are trying to move them. Trump is obviously like, we like this guy, then we don't like this guy. Like MAGA sort of moves in terms of here's our issue, we care about this now. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people that are kind of like thinkers or commentators, and kind of works the same way in other cultures too, fashion, whatever. But they're basically, if you think of that moving around like a cyclist pack or something like that, right?
Or like geese or something.
Yeah. So the organism's sort of moving around, and then basically it's people that are in the pack trying to run to the front, act like they're leading the pack. Yeah. So it's like a lot of commentators, they kind of look, the thing moves around and they're like, we care about this now. And then you run to the front and you act like you're
like, I've been saying that forever.
Yeah. So a lot of what I see on discourse right now is people what I would describe as following from the front.
Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting theory. Yeah, I mean, I guess
I thought it was a good way to describe kind of what I've been seeing. They're really all following, but they're acting like they're leading, and so they run in front of the pack and then be like, whatever you guys think, I'm a little bit more than that.
Yeah, they're jockeying for position too, because especially if Trump wins, and then they can go be like, see, I'm like the authority. Right,
I've been saying
follow me. Yeah, I've been saying this forever.
You can look. I've been saying this from since a week after everyone started saying that.
yeah, kind of almost like predicting, like seeing it bubble up and being like, oh yeah, this is going to be the thing.
Because there is like a virality and like an organicness to what gets popular. You know what I mean? Like a issue kind of take hold, and they're kind of spitting all these things out there, and then something kind of takes hold, and then really becomes the central thing, right? And then you run in front and then act like you're the one that was, that you're kind of in charge of that movement.
Yeah.
Whether that be, on the other side, you see people that was the race, and now they're obviously like Palestine people is their predominant issue, and they're all kind of jockeying
for position. Well, I mean, it's profitable.
Follow from the front.
If you could be the face of any one of these things, and then your guy or girl gets elected, then you got 4 years of juice on that.
But it does describe the fact that, a lot of these people that are following from the front, they're not doing a ton of thinking. They're doing a lot of talking,
Yeah.
Well, I think but it describes, I've always kind of said that in the concept of like, rappers that stayed, popular forever, like the Kanye Wests or Drakes or, kind of some of the criticisms Drake's. It's like, they kind of do, if you watch Kanye West, it was like auto-tune was happening, and then he runs up to auto-tune. He's like, I'm an auto-tune guy now, and this happens. So it's like a lot of these people that are involved in any like youthful culture where like youth has some sort of sway on the, or very
like
internet organic.
Almost a bit. Where you see a trend like almost starting to form, and you can kind of like pick it out early.
Yeah, I guess, but I'm actually not saying that. I'm saying that would be like a little more organic. I'm saying once the trends are fully formed, people run in front of them.
Yeah, and they go, hey, I've been doing this.
Yeah, so what you're saying, whereas you describe like, hey, there's kind of this new thing bubbling over and no one really cares about, but it's really interesting.
Yeah, I guess Kanye was like T-Pain was already huge.
Right, so if you saw a culture like bubbling over, like a new fashion or whatever, right? And it was kind of new and no one cared about it, and you got really involved, and then it became popular. I see that as in fact being somewhat innovative,
Yeah.
That is actually somewhat leading. I'm describing like things become popular, and then you run in front of them and act like you were, kind of, you're the leader of that movement that you actually kind of didn't start.
And then you start selling courses.
But yeah, I feel like that's a lot of what, kind of goes on in media right now.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
politicians are probably but politicians, you could make the argument that they're supposed to do that.
Yeah, politicians are actually, for sure. Politicians are like,
they're supposed to.
We got a new opinion people might like?
Yeah.
I like that. What's my approval rating at? It's the same.
As someone who is one of the premier people at losing his belongings, this was something that plagued me until actually a recommendation from, I believe it was Danny Polishuk,
Oh, yeah.
right? That was you who got me on this.
I've been on it, man.
Since then, I lost my suitcase. I was able to find it. So we're going to tell you about tile. Everyone has stories about this, and like this. Maybe not as much as me, but we all know people who just seem to lose things, can't keep it together. So family proof your family by stocking up on the Life 60 tile trackers. So when stuff goes missing, you just use the tile app to ring it when it's nearby or track down its location on the map if it's farther away. So it really does solve the problem of losing everything.
I mean, if you travel at all, like the number
travel
one thing,
at all,
the
yeah.
whole thing where you're like, oh, I'm going to bring a carry-on bag, and then they're like, you have to check it, and then you're just like, oh God.
Sometimes
What
you just
happens
lose
if it
stuff
gets-
in your house.
That too, but everybody like there's always that thing where they make you check your bag because you're like late or whatever.
Yeah,
And then you're like, God knows if I'll see this thing ever again. Just put a tile in there, boom.
Yeah, you put a tile in there, boom, problem solved. So whether you're just a person, whether you're a couple, whether you're a family, whether you're the person that loses something or the person around you, solve that problem. You don't have to think about it ever again. Easily find your family's lost or stolen stuff. Just ring your tile when something goes missing. Track down its location in the map. Anti-theft. Unlike competitors, tile won't alert thieves to its presence via notifications. Family friendly. Add your tile tracker to your Life 360 and see your family and your family's stuff all in one spot. So again, family proof your family with Life 360's tile tracker. Visit tile.com today. Use the code BOYSCAST. You're going to get 15% off. That is tile.com and use the code BOYSCAST. Quitting a bad habit is a mountain that many people have been trying to deal with, and some successful, some unsuccessful. And there's one habit that just seems to get a hold in people. We got a lot of people that have been hitting up. But what if you could just replace the bad habit with something good? And that is, you already know, Fume. So it's a flavored air category that's quickly becoming a leading alternative to vaping and smoking. It's a whole new movement towards better habits led by the sponsor of today's video, Fume. So Fume is an award-winning flavored air device. It's not vaping. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to herbal teas. Fume has a lot of delicious flavors to choose from. We're talking crisp mint, orange vanilla. With flavored air, you can satisfy your oral fixation through passive diffusion system that utilizes no electronics, vapor, or combustion. I personally have a bunch. I have 2 different bins with all the different cores, so I'm always mixing it up. It's made with a great wood that's fun to fidget with, and obviously it's been catching on, so you've probably seen people with it, so you can see what all the fuss is about. It's not a vape, no vapor, no nicotine, non-toxic flavors, no batteries. It looks awesome. Feel the weighted high-quality design. It is continuously investing in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products, backed by doctors in the U.S. So Fume has served over 300,000 customers. You can be the next success story. So for a limited time, use the code BOYSCAST to get a free gift with the Journey Pack. Head to tryfume.com. That is TRYFUM, and use the code BOYSCAST to get a free gift with your order today. Dude, the Jake Tapper thing that you were in was making me laugh so much. Just the fact that he has the video and it said, it goes, you can see how this AI could be used for mischief. And it was like, that's the only thing you've been using this for is mischief.
Dude, I'm honest.
Dude, there's something so fucking such a mind fuck about you making the video for Jake Tapper to talk about how your videos are problematic. It's like fucking crazy.
Well, he's worried about like politics and stuff. Dude, he texts me like every day.
What?
Yeah. It's like,
What does he say?
it's just like about the piece. He goes, I think this could be a really good piece. He goes, thanks again. And all this stuff.
He's talking about your piece?
The piece, yeah, he loves the piece. Loves the piece.
I'm thinking about your piece.
Think about your piece, Danny. Can't forget you.
Salivating. I can't get you out of my mind.
Can't get you out of my mind, Danny. Yeah, good guy though, Jake Tapper. It is funny though. I was saying,
It's fucking crazy. He's like, this can be used for mischief by you, the guy who made it.
by me. And he said in the piece, I didn't really appreciate it, but I think he had to because here's a little inside.
Three under the bus.
Here's a little inside little thing that I haven't actually told anybody. So he gave me the text. He goes like, "This is the text. Can you just make this video for me?" And in it, Danny
Polishuk, gay comedian, has been making this. You go, do we have to?
no, but listen. So he gave me he goes, "Can you just like make this video for me? Here's like the text I want to use for like the intro to the thing on CNN." And then in it said, "Brilliant comedian Danny Polishuk." And then I kind of like eye rolled, but I was like, whatever. I just used his text and I just like made it right. And And then I sent it, and I had a group. I have a text thread with him. I have a text.
Were you
thread.
flattered when you saw it?
I was like, whatever, kind of cool or whatever. And then I had a text thread with his producer and him, right? And then the day before they were going to air it, the producer messages me by
He's like,
herself,
"Can you
and
take out Brilliant?"
she goes, "Can you remove Brilliant, please?" And I'm like, I didn't add that, okay? That wasn't my addition. Like, I kind of didn't even feel comfortable with that because I don't think,
That is so
And then she just was like, hey, can you just make one edit and just remove Brilliant? And I'm like, it wasn't even my idea to put that in there. That was Jake's wording. Like, that wasn't.
That's so fucking funny.
And I think it was because CNN needs to have some arm's length distance from me because I keep putting out CNN videos, and
Sure.
they're probably like, can't call the guy who is fucking
you
defaming
remove
us Brilliant.
Holy fuck! Can you remember?
And then in the piece, he said, he's like, he later in his thing, he's like, yeah, the comedian who make the videos, which I didn't really care for. Like he said,
he didn't say that.
something like to that effect, where he's like, I didn't really like him, or something like that. Because I think they have to,
But who does? I'm not alone in that. It's actually everyone I've talked to said something similar about this guy.
Yeah, not a big fan. He's literally destroying the fabric of a democracy and all this stuff.
It's so funny, dude.
Yeah, so.
This whole experiment bottom up.
Dude, I got another, not a
a.
Snopes fact check, but on the Kamala Harris one, I have some article came out from the Daily Dot, basically.
What does the Daily Dot say about you?
Basically being like, this is fake, and people believed it.
Local, not brilliant comedian.
Not brilliant comedian, whatever the opposite of brilliant is, dumb comedian.
Yeah.
But it was funny because she was like in the side. She didn't even want to be in the one with him. She was just like, hey, can you just get rid of the brilliant?
Well, there's another prankster on the loose, too. You're not the only one, because Data Dem's speed dating event in NYC has been sabotaged by an unhinged Trump supporter, allegedly. This is a post article.
Also, I saw this, but you're like, this sounds like you might have done them a favor.
I 100% did him a favor, because when you hear, you go, sabotage the speed dating event, what are we thinking? Mega coasters?
Yeah, right.
You might not slipped Kid Rock onto the playlist?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, what he did was he bought all the tickets.
Yeah, he bought all the tickets and then...
Bought all the girl tickets, so when the guys got there, it was just 3 guys and then 10 girls.
Yeah.
So you kind of...
All the dudes were like, you bastard!
Yeah, the big prank was you hooked these guys
Yeah,
up.
these guys are fucking sniz factory over
Yeah,
there.
it's not a great prank. The Trump supporter sabotaged a Manhattan dating event for Democrats by buying a bunch of tickets, leaving love-seeking lefties out of luck.
Also, this is kind of like, I mean, probably people have never thought of this before, but you're like, if you're trying to go to a speed dating thing,
Buy some tickets for the girls.
buy a bunch of the chick tickets and kind
Yeah.
of skew the odds here.
Show up and then you're looking good, right?
Yeah, he goes, where are all the guys?
It's just me sitting here with my fucking I'm with her shirt.
Yeah. You with your pink pussy hat on, being like,
Just me, huh, ladies?
I guess form a line, ladies. We'll make this quick.
The facilitator of the speed dating event got a phone call from a blocked number shortly before the event. This is the gist of what was said by the individual was, F your snowflake event. We're not coming. We're all at the Trump rally.
Yeah.
So this wasn't as much of an evil villain.
It
move
is
as
funny
thought.
though that then they all, instead of continuing with the dating thing because it was skewed, they just all sat around talking about fucking politics.
This guy wasn't. The guys did get screwed in the
The
end.
guys, because the guys, they were probably all, they were all probably just like, I'm not really Democrat. I don't care. I just want fucking some ass. And then the chicks are like, we are not going on with this. And he goes, no, go, ladies.
Ladies.
We can still do the speed dating event. Yeah, we can still do this. We'll have to, obviously take some turns, but it's fine. We can all meet each other. And
If we don't, we're letting them win.
yeah, exactly. And then the women are like, no. We have to just discuss abortion policy. And he goes,
Ugh.
yeah.
Do you see? I guess it was the October 7th anniversary.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Also
people have
my
been.
brother and my dad's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On October 7th.
So they celebrate
Coincidence?
twice.
Yeah, and they're both Jews.
That's a lot of celebrating.
Coincidence? You decide.
What? I didn't have a crazy amount to say about it, but the one thing that was making me laugh was they posted. There's a lot of protests, right? So they did a Toronto protest, and Six Buzz posted this where they were trying to burn the Canada flag.
Yeah.
And then basically they were holding the flag up, and 4 of them had lighters, and they couldn't get it to light because it just wasn't like, I guess the flags aren't that flammable. So they were there for like, come on. Everyone was screaming, fuck Canada. And then there was like, they were standing there for a good 30 seconds, all just like anticlimactically trying to get the lighter. And then they gave up and just ripped it in half.
God damn these burn-proof flags.
Yeah.
It's flame retardant.
I'm telling you, the news was killing me this week, man. Biden privately grumbling that Kamala Harris isn't mentioning him enough in the speeches.
Yeah, she's kind of distancing.
This is NBC what they're up to. Biden's grumbling.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not happy.
Well, yeah, apparently they're not giving him his props, you know?
Think any chance he just says at some point this month, he goes, you know what, I changed my mind, I'm going to run.
He had something that was actually kind of funny when people are going, something about the election, he goes, I'm back in.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually kind of okay, comedic
Goes,
timing on that move.
Yeah, maybe he's not totally.
Well, it was kind of funny. Yeah, I agree. Kamala Harris blasted for staging hurricane briefing photos, and she posted a photo basically where she has her phone and the headphones are in, but the headphones aren't plugged into the phone. And obviously Trump wasn't happy about that. He took to Truth Social.
A couple truths coming out.
Fake and staged for someone who has no clue what she is doing. You have to plug the cord into the phone for it to work, Trump wrote.
And then new article, Donald Trump's a tech expert all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's the new.
But the only reason that one was making me laugh so much is like, politicians do 100% just have to be influencers now.
Yeah.
And obviously there was some that's their whole thing, you know, AOC, there's a few guys. You see Vivek Ramaswamy when he got TikTok, he was out there, you know, doing his thing, but he basically was doing Dixie D'Amelio shit with Jake Paul.
Yeah.
But it's funny, like they all do have to straight up, like they're doing the same thing LA influencers are doing when they basically rent a plane and go take photos on the plane, you know, looking somber.
Yeah.
You've seen that thing where all the influencers
living in a politics house.
Politics hype house.
All these Congress people are just like in the fucking politics hype house.
Politics hype house.
I'm drafting this bill.
But that's what they're doing. All the LA guys, like they always, you know, people have done exposés on it now, and by expose I just mean showing the, you know, because but basically there's these places you go, you rent a plane for, you know, $100 an hour, you just go sit there for a while and post your videos being like, you know, the alpha life is tough, you know.
Yeah. And it's not even a
the
plane.
first million's the hardest.
It's just like a set. It's like you go,
yeah.
it's just like a sound stage.
Oh, it's in like La Brea or some shit.
But it's like in a like in a warehouse, and it just looks like you're.
And there's multiple of them,
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go to a set and you post all your airplane selfies like you're on a private jet, and there's tons of this, right? But now politicians have to do the same shit that fucking influencers are doing.
Yeah.
They have to be influencers.
They're trying to influence a lot. I mean, they're trying to influence fucking going to the White House.
And then also they're saying Kamala Harris's husband was beating women.
Saw that. No, that was
Doug Emhoff denies allegations that he hit his ex-girlfriend. That would be a good one. If you're going to do some AI shit, have Kamala Harris come out with 2 black eyes, being like, honestly, I should not have been flirting with Xi Jinping so aggressively. That was kind of on me.
Yeah, I gotta be careful with this shit. I'm like, they did put Douglas Mackey in jail for 7 years for 1 year.
Yeah, I'm kind of an enabler right now.
Yeah, I'm like literally 7 years for a single meme.
Well, he's getting hit hard on his ex-wife, basically saying ex-wife is coming out.
He's not the only one getting hit hard. Oh! That was actually, I did Fox on Saturday night, and they go, don't talk about that.
They said don't talk about what?
The hitting.
Why?
Because they go, it's like 50-50 that it's real or not, and they're like, they don't want to get sued.
Oh, they're worried about sued from Dominion, eh?
Yeah. Well, just suits in general, but they were like, don't.
I didn't realize that they had...
well, there's no proof of it, really, other than hearsay, which would be... It's funny because that would be totally enough for any other news.
Yeah, but when a rumor's in politics...
I know.
It's like... It's you just talk about it.
But that's the thing.
You can say this may not be true.
Yeah, but...
still, it's... the whether or not it's true, it is a story. Currently.
It is a story, and, you know, someone said it happened, and her friends corroborated, and obviously all left-wing news would be like, yeah, fucking... Someone said it and someone corroborated it. It's a story. I mean, dude, E. Jean Carroll, like, what was the Supreme Court guy with the beer? Likes drinking the beer. And the chick was like, he pushed me on a bed 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, she told her friend that night that he did that.
That's news everywhere.
And that was the biggest story in the world.
Yeah.
It was like literally it was like congressional testimony every day to see if you'd get to be on the Supreme Court.
Well, it would be funny if she came out with 2 black eyes. That's all I'm saying. That's my
Did he say 2 black guys or 2 black guys?
Can I address the nation here? As some of you can see, I don't listen. You know, the classic. What do you tell a president?
Yeah, I'd be like, remember there's like that Saudi Arabian news clip that went viral about how to like cover up your makeup, like how to do your makeup when you have black eyes and stuff.
No.
Never seen that? It was like, it's actually real. It's like women doing their it was like a women's makeup tutorial on like the news in Saudi Arabia about like women with black eyes and like how to conceal it. Yeah. Kamala, a sketch where you're Kamala's makeup guy.
I mean, one thing that always just does make me laugh, because I haven't had it before. I guess they had it with Bill Clinton, but he was the president, so it's different. But they go, the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff. And it's just like, the second gentleman is the funniest fucking term in the world.
Yeah, second vice gentleman right now, soon to
No,
be.
I think the first gentleman's the...
right. Second gentleman.
So the vice president's husband is the second gentleman.
Rough.
It is so... I can't decide whether it's rough or not, because it is like not bad being like, I'm the second gentleman.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything either.
Second gentleman's probably an easy breezy life.
Yeah. Because when you're the first lady, you got work, you got to cut ribbons and go to disaster
Second
sites.
gentleman probably doesn't do a whole lot.
No,
You obviously want to be the first gentleman.
Second gentleman,
you're going to be a gentleman.
You have your fucking Xbox headset on. You're just gaming all day.
You're at the second gentleman's club is where you are. That he slapped his ex-girlfriend in 2012. Per the report, Emhoff slapped his then partner who was flirting. I don't know if you saw this, but... Oh, you did, because I sent it to you. Sum 41.
Yeah.
The guy did Derek from Sum 41, from Ajax, Ontario, local boys. He released a documentary, and the guy who produced all those albums, he produced Sum 41, a lot of these huge albums at the time. I think it might have been some Avril Lavigne, I think some Medley, some other, all these people. But he basically did an article being like, this guy, always was trying to like make out with me and make me fuck him. He's like a pretty like renowned like producer.
Yeah.
He released it. We were just saying that, and it was basically Greg Norrie, and they're saying Greg Norrie did that, and it was just like, that was a crappy day in that guy's house. I think he's married. It's just like a biography being like, you kept trying to make out with dudes. No one is safe from gay accusations right now.
No, yeah, that's tough. I didn't realize. I thought it was straight ones.
And if anyone remembers, he had a big song, American Psycho, freak show, American.
Oh, that's Greg Norrie?
Yeah, that's Greg Norrie,
okay.
Treble Charger.
Oh, he's the guy from Treble Charger.
He's the guy from Treble Charger. He went on to produce like every famous album.
Yeah.
And then this book comes out basically saying the guy called him. He said he was calling the guy from Sum 41 homophobic because he wouldn't fuck him and stuff like that. It was just like
It's very progressive, actually. So to say this was happening 20 years ago, like that was like a fucking 90.
That's a rough night in the Norrie household, man. The fucking biography comes out, basically being saying you've been trying to have gay sex with the 19-year-old boys the entire time.
Honey, it was just a different era.
Honey,
it was punk.
You don't know how hard it is to make these great albums.
Yeah,
you think
it's punk though. It's just like a wacky punk thing to do to try and suck Derek's dick.
That was a rough one though. That was not a fun day in the household, him coming up, and every single person, when you look at it, you just like, you go the rappers, every band, you go, is there any dude that was in the music industry that wasn't getting boned? Am I the only one?
Yeah.
Am I the only guy that didn't get boned?
I mean, you might have just repressed all the memories.
Well, once the lube goes on your head, you don't have a choice.
When you have one of those fucking sloppy handshakes.
Once you get the memory lube, it's like, I don't remember. All I know is that I was in a room with fucking
all of a sudden we're on Much Music every day, and I don't know what happened in between those two things, but
all I know is we were on the top 30 MTV. And then there was a little bit of a blur before that.
Yeah, it was just all blacked out, but I think it was blacked out from all the fun.
I remember spending a night with Lil Shiesty. I thought my marriage was perfect, but after my husband died, I discovered his depraved secret life. I felt so mad with rage that I ate his ashes in revenge.
Got him. There you go. I feel bad for the kid, man.
Payday.
Honestly.
Me too. There's a photo. This woman posted.
Is so fucked.
Yeah. You seen the photo?
Yeah.
She does this article. She's writing a whole book. Her whole career is this guy's a perv.
Yeah, literally, she's just like her husband fucking was a piece of shit, I guess.
She found out that he was getting escorts.
Escorts after the fact because she was like...
She typed in something on the computer. Houston escorts came up, and then, apparently somehow hacked into his things post-mortem and found all his escort
not what
shit.
I was expecting because she typed in H-O. Right,
I know, me
she was
too.
going for home, but I was like, she typed in ho, and they go, oh,
Houston escorts popped up. So this guy was apparently on trips fucking getting escorts or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He dies. she's made it her entire identity. The kid's like 11 and she's doing like photos everywhere. This ain't like an anonymous story. This is public story. Her out front, me, the husband, the kid. The kid's whole deal is now my dad's this like fucking
piece of shit. My mom's
hound.
a psycho who ate his ashes.
Real sticking it to him.
And like the most important thing in my opinion is she maybe sold 100 copies of this book.
Well, maybe now that the articles are getting out
Nah,
here.
nobody's fucking. She sold 100 copies of this
She's
book.
burying the lead. So she's already, or what do you call it? She's
She's muddying the waters.
no, I'm saying when it's like, well, there's no point to read the book. I already know the.
Yeah, exactly. You know the deal, and then you're like, I guess if you really want to know how she felt about it, but like she sold 100
I
copies
don't.
of this book. 30 were bought by friends and family as like sympathy purchases, right?
For sure,
just to bump it up. So like, there's maybe 70 organic sales, and you're like, your kid's life is ruined.
Your whole kid's life, entire deal is your dad's the fucking prosty man.
Yeah.
And your mom's eating his ashes.
Eating his ashes and as a psycho.
And she's proud of it. She's like, that'll show.
She's doing a press tour about.
Doing a press tour about she ate the ashes. The industrial scale of Sean's infidelity. That's funny having your infidelity be called industrial scale. An obsession perpetrated so many years. Also, the big thing is she was a porn addict and all this. You wouldn't want to go to my school if your dad was fucking outed by your mom as a fucking porn fiend.
I know, like he had like autistic levels of like files where like he had all these folders and it was categories by like age, race.
You would not want to be at my school, ladies and gentlemen, if your dad was outed for being the porn fiend.
Well,
of the fucking city.
unless people would be like, yo, you got backup.
His dad's, well, that would be the thing. If we found the Playboy collection, that's one thing. There's some culpable deniability. But it's another thing being like your dad's life is just occupied by jerking off nonstop.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
So perpetrated over many years in her Jessica's extraordinary book, The Widow's Guide to Dead Bastards. She really stuck it to him by. You ever seen that scene in The Simpsons where Homer has the pet lobster and then he's eating the lobster and he's crying
over it.
That's how I picture her eating the ashes.
It's just like spoonfuls of it. It's all over her mouth and shit.
She reflects, but then in despair, guilt, took more of his ashes and ate them. The remains feel dry against the fingertips, coarser than baking powder, grainier than salt. So she's a bit of a wordsmith, considers herself. She says, in one of the strangest set of texting notes you'll likely to ever read, they mix with the teary water, a mineral mud on the back of my tongue. I swallow.
It's true. It's really true. There's no fury like a woman scorned. That's fucking what? 500-year-old quote, and it just rings true every day. You fuck a woman over, she's eating your ashes and writing a book about it.
Yeah, you really mess with the wrong person in that sense.
Crazy, man.
And she's taken down everyone else, including their kids, despite them.
Like she's ruining her kid's life again. And she probably the money she paid the publicist to get this article done covered any profits from those 70 books sold. So it's like she's in the fucking red.
She's in the red because this publicist wasn't cheap either.
Yeah,
You're
the
correct
publicist
about
wasn't
that.
cheap. Like she's in
She's
the red.
in for probably $5,000, $6,000 a month.
Yep.
She's probably doing a 2-3 month run. She's probably out 16, 17K. She probably spent 5 months making the book. She's probably out 20K in the hole.
Easy.
She's sitting on a clean 600
Dude,
profit.
the garage is just boxes of these books. just literally just atrophying, waiting to get sent to Goodwill.
She's right now in some local community center trying to do a book signing, and there's no one in line, and it's kind of sad.
She's at the mall. She's at the local mall. She's got the table
outside
like
the
with the little like fucking the little fold up thing where it's just like her graphic, and she's just sitting there, and people are just walking by, going to the fucking dollar store, and she's just waiting.
Tubs of edible ashes being sold for $10 a piece. No takers.
She got the lockets, like the little. She goes, you can buy a little chain. He goes, you're selling your husband's ashes? She goes, these aren't the real ones. These are his possessions that I burned.
Yeah. So definitely not great. You know, it's funny in our we were talking about this, but they did a study where they said that when they were talking about nuclear fuel in different places, and the difference is legitimately more so than many other issues is just women versus men, where it's like women are on aggregate against it and men are on aggregate for it.
Yeah.
And, we've talked a lot about how, when we're talking about the climate stuff where it's like, women love that until it comes to having to, use less washing or, not have the AC on as much or buy less stuff, right? Buy less fast fashion. But I was loving the idea that women are allowed to, they're allowed to have their way. They're like, all right, women, you win nuclear powers. However, for every ounce of power that we remove, you have to make up by being on a bike that's attached. So every guy's wife is just on a fucking exercise bike powering the TV and the things.
Hey man, that's not the worst idea.
You put their appliances like washers, hair dryers. You put all those appliances attached to a bike that's in the thing. They have to churn.
It can
their
even
own
be
power.
a recumbent bike. They don't even have to be. It can be a recumbent. You can just be sitting.
So they have to churn their whole power. Any anti-energy sentiment you get on the bike to prove it.
I like that.
But there's a German version of that, which was kind of the vegan, which obviously there's crossover from the vegans to the energy people, right? And this was translated from German, but he's a big German guy, nutritional sociologist. He said, men eating meat symbolically subjugates the woman. And so
because women don't like meat.
This guy's trying to get some pussy. You know what I mean? He's looking for that German pussy.
Yeah, this guy's getting his fucking head shit on.
This 100% is a German guy that's looking to get shit on, and he's looking to get some university tail. He's looking for some, TA pussy. Meat is strongly associated with masculinity. Only men's work was considered physically demanding, not women's. Men were factory workers and soldiers whose bodies needed meat. If the construction worker only gets meat once a week and only salad, he'll fall off the scaffolding on the third day. But care work, this is the woman he's talking to, says, but care work also requires physical strength. At home and in jobs, they're still predominantly done by women, such as nursing or care for the elderly. So this is a very whimsical conversation.
Yeah, look, building a building, doing some laundry, same thing.
Babysitting's as hard as scaffolding, I think is the argument that's being made here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've all seen that famous photo of the woman up on like the 90th floor of that fucking beam doing some laundry,
Well, yeah, their argument is that they try to make meat appeal to men because they're doing harder work, but they're incorrect because women are just doing as much physically demanding work, and that's why no one should eat it. I
don't
guess
think they were marketing meat 200 years ago. There wasn't like a big meat push. People were just like, that animal, you eat it, it's delicious, and we can make more of them.
There's an advertisement that shows 3 pieces of meat with the text stomach, legs, bottom for men. Several things coming together here. Meat is food for men, while women are supposed to shape their bodies for the male gaze through their stomach and legs. One could even go as far as to say that men symbolically consume women's bodies when they're eating meat.
Yeah, they do.
So
you know how they be tasting.
I think it's like, one of those things where you do your 4-year degree. It might not wreck your brain totally. You get into the master's program. Sometimes it starts to go a little hard. PhDs, you probably split into 2 camps. One's where your brain's totally fucking mashed potatoes at this point. Or people that kind of, find that they probably look at the system being like, this thing's a little wacky. Or you go full mashed potato soldier, right? If you get to the point where you go, listen, I've been spending 7 years on this. Every time you take a bite of meat, the reason men like meat is because symbolically you're eating a woman who you consider less than because they do a lot of work around the house, which is actually, people don't know this, but just as hard as doing scaffolding.
Just as hard. And they need meat too. And you go, they can have meat.
And at no point does anyone in that room say, what are we doing?
What are we doing? No.
What are we doing with our lives?
Well, the moment you say that, you kind of go, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some of these people that have had a brain flash where they just fucking come to in a pile of pages written about how, essentially every time you take a bite of a hamburger, you're eating you're eating your wife.
You're eating your wife. And yeah, they go, I'm sure a lot of guys are like, yeah, my wife also eats the meat. She prepares it actually. And
well, she's also eating women because she hates them too. And you go, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that's a real stretch. Just say...
What's the funding for this? How much does university get a year?
You don't want to know.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. That's enough science, everybody.
It's enough social science. That's for damn
science,
sure.
The worst of the sciences.
That's by far the worst of the sciences. Shut it down.
Yeah, this is a bit of a stretch.
If you're like me, you're not looking to take 15,000 pills. You're looking for one thing that you can have as a multivitamin that you can actually fix into your routine that you're not going to forget about And that's why we got to tell you again about AG1. Helps you build a healthy morning routine in just 60 seconds. You get your daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotics, adaptogens, and more. That's why I've been on AG1 for maybe 3 years now. Pop the coffee in.
It's the best. That's the routine.
That is the
coffee,
routine.
AG1. While you wait for the coffee to brew, drink the AG1. Coffee's ready.
If I'm on tour, I have the bottle and I pop it in there with the travel packs because
Yep.
I bring those with me. AG1's like daily self-care, but in a cool way.
Absolutely.
I know that I'm doing at least one good thing for my body every day when I start with AG1. Gives you the vitamins, minerals, and more that your body needs. Contains prebiotics, probiotics, supporting ingredients to support your digestion, reduce bloating, keep you regular. In a research study, 97% of participants felt digestion improved after 90 days of drinking AG1. A recent study said AG1 was actually shown to double the amount of healthy bacteria in the gut. These healthy bacteria work together to break down food and are known to alleviate bloating, promote digestive regularity, and aid in digestive comfort long term. So you're going to have to do something,
Yeah.
And this
you can't do nothing.
You can't do nothing. AG1's got everything you need. And then on top of that, it tastes good. It's not something that you dread. Because I actually did, when I was talking about the pills, I actually did start to dread every morning. I was just
Oh, man. You ever take a bunch of pills on an empty stomach, too? And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
You're just like,
Yeah, that's a huge part of it. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
AG1 is made with bioavailable ingredients that actually work on your body. AG1's powder form makes it easy for your body to digest and access the nutrient-dense ingredients in the formula. Non-GMO ingredients, just one scoop, provides whole body benefits like gut, immune, and stress support. So start with AG1, notice the difference for yourself. It's a great first step in investing in your health, and that's why they've been a proud partner of the BOYSCAST for so long. So try AG1, get a free bottle of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/BOYSCAST. That is a $48 value, folks, for free if you go to drinkag1.com/BOYSCAST to check it out. There's a real tongue twister coming at you right now. Transgender Muslim wannabe fighter requests court to allow him to be euthanized after charged with making terroristic threats. So this is the full package.
this is a lot of things happening.
This is on the outside. The institutional version is you're using a lot of fancy words to describe all your mumbo jumbo.
Sure.
This person's on the street, becoming trans, becoming a Muslim, demanding to be euthanized.
The best is he said when he was getting like patted like in the prison or whatever, like when I think they said when they were cuffing him and he's like the guard had a boner. I'm like, no, the guard did not have a boner. The guard was not patting you, you fucking fine piece of transgender Muslim ass, and was like cuffing you up. And
Well, they
goes,
went full in
this-
because they were a girl for a month and a half and they're already
Yeah.
making sex assault claims.
I know, and he goes, "Oh, these fucking freaks!
Yeah,
These freaks have a boner when they're trying to put the cuffs on me."
That is something else, though, being trans for a month and a half and then saying that you got arrested and then saying all the cops are patting you down with a boner. I'll tell you what, it is weird. I've done a few drunk tank nights and it is not great having to fucking be naked there.
No,
I hated it, man.
I love the idea. He goes, "It's not great having to be naked," and the cop shows up and he goes, "Yo, why are you naked? This is not mandatory." And he goes, "No, rules are rules."
There's actually the complete opposite of that. I used to talk about this on stage a little bit, but if you remember, me and my friends, there was a big fight, and then we went into the paddy wagon. They brought us to the paddy wagon. I was causing trouble when I was in the thing because I was
Sure.
causing a bit of a ruckus. So they made me wait in the paddy wagon by myself while they processed everyone else. Then they bring you in, they strip search you, make you touch your toes or whatever. All the cops got boners. No, I'm just kidding. But they make me strip searched, and then they sent me to the cell. So we all had our own cells because they're all just like these little holding cells. It wasn't one of those big holding cells like you see in the movie. But my friend was beside me, so we were still kind of revved up at this point. So we're joking around and having fun, right? And then after, I'm like kind of soaked because I was like sweating, and then it started to get cold, so I'm like freezing because my clothes are wet, and I'm just wearing boxers. And then I'm being like fucking nuts that they didn't give us our pants. And my buddy who's in the cell beside, we can hear each other. He goes, "I have my pants," and then the other guy's like, "I got pants." And it's like I'm the only person they didn't give my pants back.
Oh, your shirt.
I think I had a shirt.
Yeah, shirt and boxers.
I think I had a shirt and boxers. Yeah.
They're trying to penalize
I think
you.
I had a shirt, boxers, and socks. Yeah, and then my other stuff was in my little bin or whatever.
All right. Well, and then you were soaking wet. So then you pop the top just to not get too cold.
I don't remember that. I don't remember the ins and outs of what I did for the coldness.
But you were naked.
I'll tell you what, I was naked. No, the other time I went with Anthony Youngelbrecht. We were in Wasaga Beach Comedy Festival, and then
I
we
remember
got a big
that.
fight with these guys. I remember it was like, this guy's a monster, right? He just fucking took down 19 dudes in like one punch. He got a fist the size
Dude,
of
I literally remember outside of fucking Vapor Central, the weed lounge.
They brought him back to his old life because he was a jail guy back in the day.
Oh yeah, outside of Vapor Central, someone like said is literally someone said like this
He's
is
a
the type of
beast.
guy like you say one word that's like disrespectful.
Not to me. He doesn't have that energy with me.
No, not with
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
I'm
but to
saying if
someone
you're
on
like
the-
a
yeah, yeah.
stranger and you think you're just gonna like you say fucking
Bump him.
bump them, say one off color thing.
You bring him
like,
back to his old life.
Oh, dude, and he beat the shit out of 4 guys in front of like a weed lounge where everybody's like pretty chill.
Yeah, that's what he did in Wasaga Beach, and then we went to the drunk tank.
Hey, happens.
Nicest guy, hilarious.
Oh, man.
These people that are about that, they used to be about that life. You don't want to bring it back out of them.
Guy literally, you shake his hand and you're like your hand is like raw after shaking his hand. It's like just the most manly hands. Like he's just fucking. The guy like strips bark off of trees just manually. Just
He just sands a tree with his hands.
crazy.
Yeah, shout out, love him. But anyways, when I went there, I'll tell you what. So I don't want to go full out here on the side of the cops because they do some funny business. I think it is unlikely.
And that man was pretty hot for the boner.
I do think it's unlikely that the cops are the boner. But the funny part is, on that side, it's like this guy went Muslim and then he tried to be a firefighter. So this guy he's transitioned into a woman and then he transitioned into Muslim, right?
Yeah.
So he goes from like a dude looking like you to a woman in a hijab
Just me in a hijab.
to Danny in a hijab.
Yeah, minus the beard though.
And then he goes, he didn't get into the firefighters. And he said it was because of his discrimination because he's Muslim. So he made several 911 calls that culminated in him threatening to open fire on multiple county and city buildings. Morgan was arrested and taken to the jail. So that's why he got taken to the jail. This guy was Muslim for one day. He starts making terrorist threats.
Yeah, the actual Muslims are like, can you not, please?
He's calling the Muslims being like sick, right?
Yeah, well, I'm one of you. They go, no.
Like, basically what he
No,
did.
we're trying to not do this shit. Come on.
This guy goes Muslim for a fucking day and a half. He's calling in bomb
Fucking
threats.
hot dog strapped to his fucking chest. Goes, how can I do it?
Yeah, he's like, being Muslim fucking sick. They're like, we don't
This is what we do, right? This is what we're doing?
yeah, kind of, right?
Wow.
And then he goes to the jail and he was like, I'm being sexually assaulted. He's
Every guard has a fucking boner all the time.
guards can't stop
What's
having
going
boners
on?
around me. So this guy, basically by the end of it, he's when they have those videos, one day being a woman,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
2
yeah,
days
yeah,
being a
yeah.
woman. This guy is 3 days being a Muslim transgender woman, and he's
Locked
calling in bomb threats, saying everyone's trying to sexually harass him, and also he wants to commit suicide.
Yeah, and not a suicide bombing.
Yeah.
He was requesting to be transferred to the countries that have euthanasia.
Yeah, he wants to be
literally-
transferred out of country.
Yeah, he goes, can you transfer me to Canada to just put me down? And they go, we don't do that. I don't know what you think this is.
Because I'm Muslim, isn't it?
It's because I'm Muslim that you won't send me to Canada to be euthanized, huh? Because I'm a transgender Muslim, you just refuse to have me euthanized. You go, that is, you're looking at like a fine and maybe some community service. We're not transferring you to another country.
Trudeau had
to
a
be put
fucking
down.
banger recently. I know we always go back to it, but it's like the guy's so funny. People are missing out. They don't see the things he does. I know. He had a thing, I don't know if you remember, a thing a year ago, right? So he basically goes, because of all the airlines a lot of times cancel flights. So he goes, he has this big thing. He stands up and he makes like this whole thing of like, I'm going to stop this now. I'm fighting the big airlines, right? So then
Both of them.
fights the couple big airlines. But so he starts this system where he goes, there's this complaint system. So if you want to, if your flight gets canceled, you go to this system, complain, right? The system costs $1,200 a complaint.
Yeah.
So $1,200 a complaint.
Like you have to pay? What do you mean?
No, this is how inefficient
Oh,
it is.
gotcha, yeah.
So all said and done, it costs $1,200 per person for how much bureaucracy and stuff they have. They are currently 2.5 years behind.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have a flight that gets canceled, you basically you go
in
to
your
this
complaint.
website, you go put in your complaint. 2.5 years later, $1,200 later, they look into it, and then most of 90% of the complaints you don't win because the idea is is like, you're not, it's fine if they canceled it for weather
Right.
or any bullshit, technical problems, any bullshit that they always say.
Sure.
Because no airline just says like, oh, we're canceling flight because we're with the bad scheduling. They always give you some excuse like there's a technical problem, right? They never just say, the pilot's tired. They never just say we canceled it because we're fucking.
I had one flight actually canceled. I remember because they go, we don't have stewardesses or whatever, like flight attendants.
Yeah, that happens.
They just go, hey, they're like the flight attendants that were supposed to work here. Like they've worked too many hours.
They're too tired. Yeah,
no, they worked too many hours this week.
No,
so-
I know, but legally they're too tired.
Yeah, they're too tired. And I go, okay, thanks.
Yeah, so I don't think that. I think they're allowed to have things like that. But anyways, the moral of the story is they were like, I'm going to solve this problem. $1,200 a person. The system doesn't work. And then also I think the airline pays half it. So prices of tickets are all up by like $200 a pop.
All right. And in Canada, there's like zero.
And he goes, you're welcome. It was the ultimate of the old saying that nothing so scarier as I'm from the government and here to help.
Yeah.
So Danny has been talking about, probably one of your main things you talk about is they're trying to make you eat bugs. So you call me late at night, 3 a.m. You go,
They're trying to make me eat the bugs.
I just get a text from Danny at 4
Ordered
a.m.
DoorDash. I think there was a bug in it.
I'm not doing it.
Not a mistake.
Not going to eat it.
That's what happens. You order Chinese food. There's a bug in there. They go, that was on purpose. That was not an accidental bug. They're weaning you into the bug.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, there's a bug in my meal. They go, yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know. Try. What do you think?
Yeah.
Like it?
And
did you like it?
so there's an entire Reddit message board.
It's kind of grossed me out reading it.
It was gross.
I bet you. I could imagine you reading this being like.
When I sent it to you, I think I deleted a couple of the gross ones.
I honestly felt like you were like gagging having to read these.
I was gagging, and there was one of them that I don't know if you saw, but in the Reddit thread, it's a whole bunch of people, and their whole deal's eating bugs, and they're all weirdos, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things they said was one of the posts was saying, "Are you not sick of people demeaning us by making a joke about it, saying, oh, they're trying to make you eat bugs? There's actually nothing wrong with eating bugs."
Fuck it. I wish they made me eat bugs.
So it's all these people that want to get into this bug eating life. First one, I just got fired from my job and it's been a real wake up. I'm looking for ways to become fully self-sufficient as soon as possible. This seems like a step in the right direction. And she says, food's a rarity right now and I'm honestly opening my mind to eating bugs long term. While planning on growing food such as carrots and lettuce as well. Is there a fast way to be self-sufficient on bugs? Really cheap? Any tips or ideas? I would say, in my opinion, this one made me laugh because it felt like the ultimate overly overdramatic girlfriend.
Yeah.
That gets fired from their job.
Yeah,
and
he goes, I guess we're eating bugs now, huh? He goes, did they give you a severance? Yeah, but that's not the point. Is things are so bad, here's your dinner, mealworms.
Yeah.
Thanks.
This is, literally the mom gets fired from her job, comes home and cooks dinner for the husband and it's just a bunch of bugs. And you go, well, I guess we can't even afford food.
Because we have tons of food in the freezer. Well, we're going to need it.
Well, we're going to need it because I just found some crickets in the fucking backyard and we're eating that now. And you go, we're probably going to be fine. We have enough money. It's like
the food bank is plenty stocked. He goes,
you have 6 months. Yeah, worst comes to worst, we can go to the food bank. No,
we're eating bugs.
I'm eating a couple of ladybugs.
Until I find a new job. You go, I don't want to eat bugs.
So outside the work, eating bugs, being like, this is what you made me do.
Yeah, and it turns out you can't just eat bugs from the outside. That's the big thing that I learned from this is you can't just go like, oh, hey, there's like a bug. I can eat that.
Apparently they're not good for you.
No, because the problem is those bugs are like, because these people want like organic bugs.
They're fancy bugs.
These people want like heirloom organic bugs. They're like, no, these bugs have been eating trash and McDonald's and stuff.
They're
literally like, I'm not eating a bug that's
bug's full of poo.
Yeah, but they're like, I'm not eating a bug that's been eating McDonald's. Like this bug is.
I want grass-fed bugs.
Yeah. So then they're like
eating only the finest of grains.
So then they're like, you have to. They were like, yeah, you have to have like a 20th generation bug.
Yeah.
Like basically, like you get the bug and then you start breeding them and feeding them, and then like once they hit like the 20th generation, you go, that's a clean bug right there.
That's very gross.
Yeah, untoxic bug.
Eating pet store mealworms for reptiles. How to make it as safe as possible.
Dude, that's fucking dark. That is literally like worse than I don't even think they were doing that in the Depression, where you're showing up to the pet store and you're like, I'd like some bugs for my.
It's something else.
Gecko, and they go, you're not eating these, are you?
Yeah, please don't.
And it's like you have the shame of being like, yes, they're for my family. It's the only way I can feed them.
I'm thinking about simply buying live ones at the pet store. Feed them veggies and oats and generally okay stuff for a period of time and then boil and cook them. I'm aware there might be some microplastics, but I'm okay with it this one time. So she's wondering if there's microplastics in the mealworms for lizards. It doesn't want, you don't want any when you're eating lizard food.
I mean, these are like health conscious people.
It seems like it.
He's coming from a very health conscious angle. Like they're not like destitute.
This is one of the biggest freak shows on Reddit right now. This bug eating group. Is taste going to be affected even a week after a week of good feed? So he's wondering, he doesn't want his bugs to taste bad.
Apparently someone said if you feed your bugs broccoli, they taste like broccoli. But then if you feed them someone's like, you feed them apples and stuff and they'll taste sweeter.
That can't possibly be true. They fucking taste like broccoli if you feed them broccoli.
I don't know. That's what they're saying.
Could I eat them raw, fried, without boiling first? Or is boiling a must for pet grade insects? So they definitely don't want their fucking worms for the lizards to taste weird or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, here's a crazy thing. If you live near any body of water, is you take the bug, you put it on a hook, and then you catch a fish. Because fish love bugs.
See, you're assuming that
but they might not want to eat fish.
That's only the one person that's like, I'm so poor, I'm eating bugs, so that's the one person throwing a tantrum getting into the community. The rest of the community is like, this is almost ideological.
Yeah. They're like, I'm not eating an animal. I'm not eating a fish.
I'm not eating a fish. I'm a bug man.
Yeah, I'm a bug man.
I'm an official.
Yeah, like a proper bug man.
Is it safe to eat city bugs? So this is more of a country folk. They're not. The city bugs versus country bugs. The country bugs are a little more laid back. The city bugs have their 9 to 5. They're on their way to somewhere.
You do not want to eat a New York City cockroach.
They're hardened. They're a little grosser.
They got crack on them and stuff, and fentanyl. Fentanyl overdoses and
city bugs are all just chock full with fentanyl. Ugh. But that's people always have that conversation. City bugs versus country bugs.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, here's a good one. Extremely insecty tasting crickets.
Yeah.
So little unhappy that the crickets tasted insecty. Recently bought a bag of crickets. First time buying them from a store for myself, as opposed to eating them at a restaurant. Ugh. I've found them to have way more distinct taste than others I've had. Any suggestions for flavoring or how to complement them? I mean, you'd probably compliment them by having real food, then just throw out the bugs.
Throw out the bugs. I mean, I know that was like a big thing where at one point someone was like, you could eat chocolate-covered crickets. And that was like people were like, chocolate-covered crickets?
I guess if you put enough chocolate on them that,
it just tastes like
cure them enough, you won't taste the bug.
Tastes like a peanut M&M.
It's so funny being into bug eating and you don't want it to taste like bugs.
I mean, we're all going to be eating bugs soon, Ryan. You just get used to it.
The mods. They want the mods to do this. Hey, mods, can you please post a sticky to inform people that eating wild-caught insects is risky? So this is probably like an OG bug eater, and they're like, these new guys are, getting a little willy-nilly about their bug eating.
Yeah, I ate a worm, and now I have a worm.
I mean, these people are living like wild animals.
The crazy thing is they think we're living like wild animals, right? Because we're like, you just like.
Do you think that's what it is? Do you think they think they're fancy?
Yeah, these are fucking futuristic pod people.
Okay, you think in their mind, they're like, I'm so above this. I'm a highfalutin guy.
Yeah. They're like, this is the galaxy brain shit. This is galaxy brain diet right here. You go, you guys are eating animals that you like feed and raise and butcher. They're like, no, this is the next level above. And like,
it really is
like
gross.
Our consciousness expanding as we just eat the bugs.
You'd have to give me a lot of money to eat one bug. It's like really gross to me.
It was fine.
Yeah, but you'll eat anything. You're a fucking
I won't
fat
eat
slob.
anything. No, I won't eat anything. I told you. When I was in I want to say it was in Vietnam or Laos or Cambodia or something, and then we stopped. We were on a bus, and we stopped at this like rest stop, and this woman had this. I'll never forget this. She had this plate on her head. There was like this like circular plate. And it was covered in like deep fried or roasted tarantulas. And they were huge. They were like the size of my fist. And so on the bus we were on, there were like locals who also took the bus. And the locals got off and they just like beelined for this tarantula lady. And then she takes the plate off her head, and they're picking through them for like the choice ones, like they're like kind of like
they can tell the difference. They're just shaking them like it's an apple.
They're like, oh, that's the good one, and then they just like got a bag of roasted tarantulas, and they're just eating them. Like,
that's one of the grossest things. Other countries do insane things.
Well, they have to.
Nah, they do not have to eat tarantulas. Those are expensive, probably. That was way more expensive than probably the alternative.
I mean,
That was a delicacy for them.
it probably is a delicacy. I wonder what the
I'm not even a
exchange rate
hypocrite
of-
on this because I think eating fucking lobster is kind of gross too.
Yeah, I wonder what the exchange rate is for like how many like Twix bars you could get, because you could get at that rest stop, like you could buy Oreos. Like it wasn't like you're like, oh man, we're in the middle of fucking.
I'm telling you, they
like you
probably-
are in the middle of nowhere, but you can still get all these things.
Yeah, but this is like a little piece of lobster for them. It's like
Yeah.
a highbrow thing, I think.
Oh, this was in Vietnam actually. Now I remember because I got a soup because they have pho is like the big soup, and then I got a chicken pho. I go, nothing wrong with this, and then there's a full chicken leg in it, the foot.
Oh, chicken foot soup. Jamaicans all do that.
Yeah, and then people, I was like, I like literally like picked it up and do this.
Yeah, it's the
and
toes.
they're all just
they're all sucking the fucking meat off the
sucking
toes.
on the foot of the chicken. Ugh.
It's just gross, man.
Yeah, but
Does no one ever tell them this is gross? Like, has no one ever told them that?
dude, they think you're an idiot for thinking it's gross. They're like, are you insane?
I'm not though. It's objective. It's objectively gross to eat a fucking tarantula.
It's not though. Man. It's just that they're like, you're missing out. Their whole thing is like, you are missing out.
Yeah, well, I'll continue to miss out.
You will.
Are fire ants safe to eat? Someone's looking to expand their palate. I was thinking about collecting some red imported fire ants and making them into bug lollipops or other dishes. Is there any risk to doing this? I mean, it's going to be a risk that people walk out of your party and call you a freak.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some Halloween. This is some Halloween shit.
The
right
responses said no, by the way. They don't think fire ants is good to eat
here. Yeah,
in the bug community.
They got obviously whatever bites you and then gives you like hurts you or whatever you're ingesting.
Baby steps into eating bugs. See, this I don't even get though. Like, if you don't eat bugs, why are like what? I really do think it's the propaganda where they're like people are like they're trying to make us eat bugs and they're just like they see that posted on enough Republican
better
sites.
get used to eating bugs.
Well, I think it's the other way where they're like, oh, Republicans don't want you to eat bugs. I'm a bug eater now. And I'll show them I actually love bugs. There's nothing wrong with it. It has to be that. What's the other reason that would be like, let me get on the Reddit thread and start fucking doing some research of how I could become a bug eater and I'm not.
They're probably like worried about sustainability, you know, like they're having the last laugh here because one day we're just going to go to a straight bug eating society and Ryan's going to be like, fuck, I wish I weaned myself into
I'll kill
eating bugs.
myself.
Well, you're going to have to because they're going to be like, here's your bowl of bugs.
I won't. I'll blow my brains out. That's the end for me.
Yeah, well, there's not going to be any guns.
Well, I'll have hoarded a lot of food, I would imagine. if I can see any inkling that this is going to move towards bugs.
yeah.
I mean, you can still eat plants though, right? Or you're saying it's apocalyptic and there's no plants to be grown?
no plants. There's just these fucking.
I'd rather eat grass like a cow.
I don't know if you can get enough nutrition from grass.
Well, then I won't get enough
actually
nutrition
reading
then.
this
I guess I'll be a little short on nutrition then.
I was thinking that specifically. I go, could you just eat grass? I don't know if you could.
This isn't not going to be for me. There's no scenario where I would do it. I would move to the one country where you don't have to do this.
Yeah. One country. Yeah, I'd like to come to the country that doesn't. And they go, we're full, pal.
And
Thanks. We don't need
I
any-
would tell them, I'm like,
we
you
don't need any
understand.
bug eaters in our country. No, thanks. You go, no, I'm not a bug eater.
I'm a refugee.
one of you.
I'm escaping the bug
Yeah,
eating.
nice try, you freak.
Baby steps into eating bugs. I really want to start eating bugs, but I don't think that I could just eat a whole one right away. What are some baby steps to start with? Could I make a bug burger? Seems like a tasty idea. If you don't think you could eat bugs, well, I don't get. This is the part that I don't get. You're like, I want to be a bug eater, but I think they're gross. Then you're not a bug eater.
You're not a bug eater.
You think it's gross. Why are you doing it? You don't have to do this.
Have you ever seen that? I think it's in Africa where they collect. They have all these like little like. They look like fruit flies almost, and then they collect them and they make these like fruit fly like burgers. It's like a patty of all fruit flies.
I've
Like it's
seen
like
this is a fruit fly, right? Showed him a picture of himself. Classic.
got him. Too bad the video wasn't on for me to look surprised. I was like, what?
I could have got the video. You're right.
Yeah, but there's like a literal like patty of just pressed fruit flies. And they just, but this is for them is like you're eating dirt. The next option is you're like I'm just eating.
I would rather eat dirt.
handful
Dirt's
of-
less gross to me.
handful of sand. Like maybe this is in Haiti or something.
Dirt's way less gross to me than that.
Yeah,
That's fucking.
but you got protein in these.
Yeah, that one's making me gag right there. That fucking thought of the fucking burger of fruit flies.
Oh man, then you got to pretend
Actually.
like it's.
If I burped right now, that'd be over. That's
It's not a
nasty.
bit, by the way. Yeah.
That's the grossest thing I've ever heard.
What happens if you have a fruit fly on
No,
your fruit
there's no
fly
scenario.
burger?
If you-
Do you shoo away a fruit fly that's on your fruit fly burger, or you just go like catch it in the bun and you go just more fruit fly burger?
This is the grossest shit in the world.
Hey man, you should be thankful that you don't have to live like this.
How do I ask my classmate for their excess roaches without freaking them out? Now we're getting into real grody
Roaches.
territory. That's real grody. And asking your friend, being like, I'll take a couple of those off your hand. What for? Call me the exterminator. Like the scene where Newman shows up with the milk to eat the fucking...
Yeah. I just fucking hate them so much.
Oh my God, they have a colony. The classmate with the colony says there's a lot of excess adults and they need to get rid of them. So this guy wants to say, I'll take care of them, but I don't want to...
Care of them.
I don't want you to know that I'm going to eat them. So, oh my God.
Someone said the roaches are good too, the way that they prepare them.
Dude, if I had... I mean, I wouldn't be in either of these positions because there's no way I'm going to have a fucking colony of this gross shit. But if I did and someone showed up and like, hey, do you mind if I eat a couple of those? I'd be like, get out.
He goes, no, I'm going to
Lose my number.
I'm going to kill them with my fucking shoe.
No,
you're not
please leave. I'd call the fucking police.
Yeah, the one thing is...
Yeah, I'm actually grossed out.
Yeah, but in this scenario, I knew you would be. But in this scenario of like eating bugs, you can kind of deep fry anything and it'll probably just taste like chips.
It's not only about the taste, man. It's a mental thing.
Yeah, for sure. Like the antenna and stuff. And dude, you go to these night markets in Asia and like Southeast Asia, and like they'll have like how you go to like a candy shop and they'll have like every bin of like candies. They have like every bug. Like they'll have like 50 different bugs.
It's the world they want you to live in, folks.
That is... That's the funny thing. It's probably people in like Thailand are like, what do you mean they want to eat bugs? Yeah, we do. We've been doing that since fucking ever.
Yeah, well, not here, my friends. This is fucking America. You're gonna put those bugs into my cold dead mouth.
Yeah.
And by the way, reverse of that, is it safe to eat dead insects? Now you've gone too far. So this person's got a bunch of dead bugs kicking around and they want to just eat them.
What, they just like keep them?
And then this is the one that I was talking about. Doesn't it get tiresome to see this same old stigma on Reddit? They're getting mad stigma,
they have
bug
their own
stigma.
community where they're eating the bugs and everybody's kind of cool with it.
So you got the wrong guy. If you,
New York City, I guarantee you.
Not much it'll make me go to war, but I will. I'll pick up arms.
New York City, I guarantee you, has like a bug eating meetup. Where people just go and they just, yeah. Here we go. Brooklyn bugs. We are edible insect. First thing that comes up right here. Brooklyn bugs. We are edible insect ambassadors. Chef Joseph Yoon.
Imagine you start dating a girl and you find out she's one of the Brooklyn bugs.
An edible insect ambassador, world-renowned chef and thought leader. That's how they start. They go, I'm a thought leader. This is
so you are right. This is how they see themselves as intellectuals.
Yeah. Tours around the world to share the delicious potential of edible insects and the burgeoning innovation of insect agriculture.
So she basically thinks she's like an evangelist, like showing up to these places being like,
Yep.
you know, are you going to tell me about Christ? I have a better book. It's just like one of those books that's like a sticky book with different insects in it.
Exactly. And its impact.
I have a better book. It's called a menu.
Yeah, too bad. Menu of bugs. It's impact on the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So this is like a sustainability thing. These are thought leaders.
So these people...
You're a fucking troglodyte.
So you're right.
Your steak.
I'll tell you what I missed. You're right, because we were talking about intellectuals. I don't know. Yeah, I get maybe you said it, but I wasn't really connecting the dots on really the huge part of it is that I'm an environmental guy.
Yeah. This is like
I'm saving the planet by eating these bugs.
Yes. It says right here, to address the challenges of food security, climate change, health and nutrition, workforce activation, environmentalism, and sustainability.
So this is the kind of non-university professor of the How Did We Get Here? Of just like you find yourself just at a restaurant, just mowing down a fucking fruit fly burger, being like, I'm helping.
Yep. Well, yeah. Let me see if I can. This is what your plate would look like there, Ryan. I'll send it to Johnny.
Fuck off.
Johnny, I'll send that over to you.
If you brought that out to me, I'd fucking flip the... It would be a fighting word.
There's a full tarantula on there, too.
That'd be fighting words for me.
It's like literally dude, this is like nobody would pass this on Fear Factor. Like if you were on Fear Factor and this came your way.
I can do any of the Fear Factor stuff.
No, but this is the
I can do the pain stuff. There's no way I could do the gross stuff. That's why I couldn't do Fear Factor. There's no way I could do the gross stuff.
I just sent this to you. You can put this up for people.
Did I ever tell you that I was on a reality show?
Yeah, I remember with the coffin.
It was Andy's show.
Yeah, Andy's show. Yeah, our boy Andy.
So I was on, some people we knew had this show. It was called Scare Tactics.
Scare Tactics.
It was hosted by Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
And then me and my buddy Jarek I forgot all the fucking about that. I haven't mentioned that. I forgot that I was on a fucking, because I was on multiple reality shows, but I was on that reality show as a contestant because they were looking for contestants and they're like, oh, you guys would be good on it. Fuck, I want to get that footage. Basically,
there was one.
But they put us in a thing. It wasn't scary to me though because I kind of like
knew it was fake.
Yeah, well, I knew the guys, right? But anyways, they put us in like some thing with like spiders and stuff like that. But But I wasn't really good at it. Jarek was pretty good at it. He had to go through the thing and find the hole and get out and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but basically we were in like some obstacle course, but we didn't have to eat anything.
Yeah, I remember there's some channel that I used to watch when I still lived in Toronto.
It was scary though.
And they used to play scare tactics all the time.
Yeah, well anyways, I was on it.
You can find that for sure.
Probably track that down.
It's somewhere around.
But that was gross.
Yeah, that was gross.
But I didn't have to eat them.
Didn't you guys have to be like stuck in a coffin or something?
Yes, but he's not grossed out by that stuff. So I was kind of like the wingman and he was doing all the stuff and I was just sort of along for the ride. I was like the bitchy girlfriend.
Someone jumps out.
We won though. We won a trip. We won like a trip to Cancun.
What? Oh yeah, you did win the trip. I remember.
Yeah, I think we sold it to someone.
Yeah,
split
yeah,
it.
I remember.
Well, it was
that.
like two grown men. We're like, we're going to go on a fucking trip to Mexico together.
So what Bugman versus Bugman tier would you do a fucking Brooklyn Bugs eat off?
0. There's no
like,
scenario.
Not even like 50K or something.
How much would I eat some bugs?
No. Well, how many Patreon subscribers would we need for you to go eat?
Well, I'm thinking money wise. You go,
to
how much?
eat a bug eat off between you and I. So I would do it too.
I don't think I'd eat bugs for
like, would this be the culmination of Bugman versus Bugman? Like the last episode was just be us eating bugs?
It would be a bad Bugman versus Bugman because you would just destroy me.
Yeah.
I would eat 0 and be like, oh, Danny won.
And I would eat just like the one mealworm that's deep fried and I go.
I could. No, it's the problem is what you're not realizing. It's not. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like I would, if I had one, if it touched my tongue, I would fucking puke.
Right. This guy's super.
You don't understand. My brain is.
I know. I'm not even like some guy where like, again, there's like very, like I couldn't go after that dude. Like I couldn't go after that tarantula, man. Like no way. Ugh.
Yuck.
Dude, look at this salad. It's like a fucking planet-friendly food solutions. Also,
Like, you were right because fucking.
I knew, dude. You have to do 2 weeks of a gag reflex to be covering this.
I
topic.
do have a week of a gag reflex. I think I fucked my own gag reflex because for comedy I used to always make myself puke and I could used to puke on command. Like kind of like when Jackass was big, all that stuff. I used to because when you're doing videos, it used to be like so climactic. When it's such a good way to like if you're like messing with someone or doing something, it's such a good like thing to have on video to puke. So I was kind of like able to make myself puke like really easy, but then it became a problem where it was like every time I drink I would puke. Dude, I remember legitimately being like fucking Waldo was like this too, but I remember also like being at like a bar and just like quickly like going to the bathroom, having a quick puke, coming right back out. That used to be on the regular.
Sure, yeah.
I remember just like
I did that recently.
You're getting out of the cab, walking to the bar, fucking walk beside, quick puke back in.
Yeah.
That used to be like pretty regular for me.
And you feel like $1 million.
It does, yeah. Like, obviously, you're spending money, and you're drinking gross shit when you're young too, like 40s and shit.
Yeah.
OE 40s.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this looks kind of like
puke juice. okay, enough bugs.
Enough bugs.
Fucking
enough bug
too gross
talk.
for me. You know the girl that we've been following that's a psychopath, right?
You're gonna have to narrow that down, please. I literally don't.
Well, we've been following this one girl that's posting that she's like the psychopath community. I'm a narcissist.
Oh, yeah.
So she's got this TikTok channel being like, I'm a psychopathic narcissist, right?
Right. Who wrote the book?
She
had a book
wrote a
about
book. She has
being
a
a
channel,
psychopath.
her whole thing, and she's kind of like normalizing psychopath. But there's a new rendition that she finally got here. She goes, "Diagnosed psychopath reveals why she was a massive childhood bully who mainly targeted boys." And we've been wondering why, when she's going to get to realizing it was for feminism, but she finally made the connection between being like, I was,
a psychopath for feminism.
She finally made the connection being like, I'm a psychopath for feminism.
There you go.
But obviously being the like psychopath for causes is hilarious, like psychopaths for Palestine. You know?
Yeah. Well, you got to normalize it.
Her literal thing is, I'm a psychopath and I'm doing this.
Nothing wrong with it.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. It's just another mental illness.
And also she realizes that the reason she used to torment people wasn't because she's a psychopath. She realized it was because of sexism.
Man, women love normalizing mental illnesses, huh?
It's their new thing for sure. They've definitely really jumped on it recently.
Yep.
She knew how to manipulate others from a young age, and she used this to her advantage to successfully on various occasions. Still, there was a certain gender microaggression that she couldn't wrap her head around, causing her to adopt misandrous views. I was such a big hater of men. I ruthlessly bullied boys in class. While she wasn't aware of her reasoning doing this as a kid, in hindsight, she recognized that it likely stemmed from her hatred of sexism.
She hated sexism as a 6-year-old.
Well, she didn't know it at the time, but now 30 as a psychopath influencer, she's looking back and realizing that the reason she was doing that was likely because
It's funny that she found a reason for it that is actually okay. She goes, "Oh, I was actually like doing a good thing. I thought I was a bad person, but
I still am.
Which I still am, but I'm not."
But I'm not.
But
I
was
am,
actually
I'm not. It's complicated.
Yeah, there was like altruistic bullying back then.
That's
like,
what
I
she's
was a
real.
good person.
Which we did the sketch a while ago.
Yeah.
But she's realizing that now, in hindsight, that the reason she was bullying these guys is for justice.
For justice and for good.
It's probably why. So the new reason just dropped 15 years later of why she was bullying. Vic's experience of being constantly dismissed just because she was a girl is a valid reason to feel resentful towards other boys. And it's an experience many girls can relate to. Rather than conforming to the silent roles she and many other girls have been pushed into, she adopted hypermasculine characteristics and defiantly acted out against other boys. So I like that this is being, it's funny too, because it's being taken at face value. You go, and they realize I do this. You go, aren't you a psychopath though?
Yeah.
She goes, yeah, but this one thing I'm not being a psychopath about.
Yeah, I'd like to hear the boys' take on what happened too.
Well, basically, she's like, well, actually, I'll just read this one thing. She goes, Vic may have projected her hatred for sexism onto other boys. So they're doing a bit of a diagnosis here.
This is like the internalized misogyny shit, where you go, I think women are bad at sports because of
This is the
internalized
biggest
misogyny.
rationalization I've ever seen in my
Crazy.
life.
This is
You know,
turning me into nuts.
I used to have a joke where I said they could rationalize anything.
Oh,
or
man.
It's, I got in a car accident that was probably for the best. And
Yeah.
it was, but harsh and unfair ways. But this doesn't compare to the unfairness young girls and women experience in their daily lives just for being women. So it's basically, to what you said, it's a guy having his face swirled in the toilet, and she's now realizing that 15 years later that this was actually, she was fighting.
But I want to see those guys. The guys are like, that didn't happen. They're like, she was a bitch and we kicked the shit out of her. They're like, we used to throw mud on her.
A third hypothesis, you're saying she wasn't bullying people.
Yeah, I think in her mind she was like, literally like, she was thinking of bullying guys.
Well, in her mind, she was walking around stiff-arming every guy in the classroom.
You ever heard of a girl bullying, like proper bullying boys?
Yeah, I
Really?
have, yeah. Well, picture this. Picture being like 11 years old.
Yeah.
And picture like a girl who's 11 who basically matured really quick to she looks like she's fucking 15. And then also she's like a gangster.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I went to Jewish school when I was 11. We didn't have that.
Picture like a fucking, like a 17-year-old woman, but she's actually 12.
Okay.
And she's got like a fucking baby blue bandana on.
Lesbian.
Her boyfriend's 25.
Yeah. Oh, okay, not lesbian.
She's
Okay.
strapped up because she's
I didn't go to school in the
she's
hood,
low-key
Ryan.
affiliated with like a Latino gang.
Okay. Okay.
She's dealing drugs.
Yeah.
And then
Real backstory here. I suppose. Yeah.
I don't have a specific one. I'm just saying that I can picture a scenario.
Yeah.
And she's, telling some, boy that's 5 years younger than her.
Sure.
Give me your fucking lunch money. And she's saying it in like a gangster accent too. She's like, she's got like the Toronto accent being like, yo dog, for real, fucking give me your lunch money, fam. And she's 13, but she looks like she's 19.
Sure. And she's bullying like an 8-year-old.
She's bullying an 8-year-old,
Okay.
She's got like a real gangster flair to her.
I guess that's possible. Yeah.
Yo, dog, honestly, you fucking give me your fries for real still.
She ain't getting my fries. I was thinking more of like a 12-year-old girl bullying a 12-year-old boy, and you're like, that ain't happening.
Do you know the rapper Top 5?
Yeah.
Or producer rapper guy? He did some interview, and there was a girl interviewing. She was asking about Drake, and she was like, what do you think about Kendrick Lamar? And he goes, yo, Kendrick Lamar? Yo, why you ask me about that? Yo, that's disrespectful. Yo, Kendrick Lamar came to Toronto, yo, get sprayed up, eh? And he's doing this whole speech, and then she goes, well, it did become like a big viral hit. And she goes, yo, honestly, I got a girl right there. You don't think she can fucking touch you? And like she's like telling the interviewer, like my female friend's gonna
threatening her?
kick the shit out of you if you keep But Kendrick Lamar? Yo, why you fucking bring that name up, yo? Man's come to Toronto to get sprayed. I was fucking dying.
Oh, I love that accent.
I watched that
but
video
it's-
probably 4 times.
I love that accent, but it is objectively the worst accent
That's insane.
face of the earth.
Fucking insane accent. But anyways, I'm picturing a girl that's obviously that's Toronto, but could be anywhere.
Sure.
But you picture, you know, like a fucking Latino gang member
Yeah.
that, you know, her brother's in the fucking
like in the Crips or something.
Yeah. Her brother's in MS-13, and she's at school bullying a guy 3 years younger than him for his fries. So
That's possible.
I'm just saying, that was my take on, you know, when I'm
Yeah,
picturing
yeah.
this girl, you know, real butch with like a bandana on.
Yeah. Like, but this wasn't this.
She got a tattoo probably
This chick
already.
was not an MS-13.
You're right. She's a fucking psycho influencer.
Yeah, exactly. This is the psycho influencer who's making this all up.
Well, that's possible too. Is that none of this happened?
None of this happened.
I'm not ruling out none of this happened.
Yeah, like when you ask kids, you go, "Who's the biggest bully in your school?" Because it says this chick says it was her, and they go, "Really?"
Well, then you're adding a second level of craziness where you go, I bullied all these people and I realized I did it for sexism. You go, you didn't bully anyone. You go, well, if I did, it was for sexism.
explore. She goes, "I had fantasies about bullying."
And that was
boys,
for sexism.
And I still fantasize about bullying boys, young ones.
That's how much I hate the patriarchy.
I hate the patriarchy.
If anything, Vic and whoever wrote this article is fucking really just belongs in the psycho community also. She goes, if anything, she exhibited an astounding level of emotional intelligence through her understanding of the disparity and refusal to conform to societal gender norms. This is the therapist, you know, where we say the therapist that just tells them whatever they do is amazing.
Yep.
Literally someone goes, yeah, I used to like kick the shit out of people when I was in high school. And you go, if anything, that was very emotional intelligent of you to realize that sexism's so bad and you should be
beating up little boys to prepare them to not, you know.
because of the disparities. Also, emotional intelligence is a funny claim to make from someone whose clinical whole deal is I'm a psychopath.
Yeah. Yeah, she had this. The
Emotionally intelligent psychopath is pretty good.
This chick who writes this too has a lot of stuff on the psychopath.
Oh,
shit.
she's the #1 psychopath correspondent. Yeah,
She
covers it
is. She has
mostly.
diagnosed psychopath reveals what she was like.
She's
as
a bit of
kid.
Stockholm syndrome. I think she fell in love with this psychopath.
I think so. Yeah, Francesca Duarte, Vic the Path.
I think for what's her name again?
Vic the Path is the TikTok of this psychopath.
I'd suck to find out that you were a dude that got bullied by Vic the Path.
270K followers.
I told you, Vic the Path does okay.
And of course, #1 pin thing. You can now book me for advice. Turn your passion into a profession. Your passion of psychopathy.
you know, it's hard to hate on Vic the Path because Vic the Path is doing okay.
Vic the Path is fucking putting in work.
And I think Vic the Path knows who to talk to. They know if I'm talking to this person, you know, related to sexism, if I'm talking to this person related to mental illness.
Of course.
I think Vic the Path knows what she's doing.
Yep.
She's doing okay at fucking turning, you know, the fact that she's a psychopath into a career. It honestly is a classic narcissist move.
Yeah.
So I actually respect her.
And
my beef is not with Vic the Path.
No, top comment. This is cool AF and brilliant monetization on your part.
So they agree with me.
Yeah, they go, way to monetize being a psychopath.
Yeah. I can't hate on the Path.
Yeah. All right. Well, Vic the Path. Everybody go check out Vic the Path. She has like some videos of fucking 4 million views.
Vic the Path is, you know, nothing to shake a stick at, man. She's...
I mean, I'm not going to shake a stick at her because she's going to grab the stick and beat the shit out of me. So
grab the stick.
I will not be shaking any
Crack
sticks
it in
at her.
front of your eyes.
Yeah, she's literally fucking one up the fucking.
Vic the
Trooper.
Path is going to grab my hair, put me into a fucking tray of bugs, just fucking
Dude,
eat up.
Yeah, she's going to turn me into a fucking popsicle stick with that stick.
Force you to eat worms. Okay, I got a whole bunch of other pretty good ones here, and people from the Patreon send us up. If people have not been checking along, patreon.com/theboyscast, we are getting to our next goal, and we do an extra bonus episode every single week. So at this point, there's tons of backlog episodes, and you can go watch the full television episodes of Bugman vs. Bugman, to which point there are 2. Appreciate everyone who supports by going to patreon.com/theboyscast and check out my special. We will see you next week.
Peace.